Okay, so this first video is going to be talking about the question of nature versus nurture. And this is an important question to debate in developmental science because it gives us a better understanding of which factors impact how a child learns and grows. And studying how nature or nurture impact a human is important so we know which characteristics an individual develops based on genetics and things we can't control, and which things are coming from an environment that a child is in, and conceivably are things that we can control a little bit better. Um, Although both clearly play a part in human development, I'm going to argue that nurture plays the bigger role. So first of all, when considering cognitive or language development, the first milestone I want to talk about is joint attention, which happens around 8 to 12 months when a child attends the same object as their caregiver, usually because the caregiver labels it. And this is connected with earlier language development. And my argument for nurture is that research shows us that infants and toddlers who experience joint attention tend to comprehend more language, and they produce words earlier and show faster vocabulary than um, um, toddlers who don't get that experience. So that would be an argument that that experience changes that child's outcome. Another one is spoken vocabulary that occurs around 18 to 24 months. This is highly influenced by nurture because we know that children from lower socioeconomic status homes have smaller vocabularies, and they're also slower at word comprehension and have 30% fewer words than toddlers who come from higher socioeconomic status homes. And a lot of that can be from maybe the parents read more to the kids, or they just get more parental interaction. So again, their experience affects their outcomes. In looking at a human's social or emotional development, a milestone of social referencing, which starts around 8 to 10 months, where actively seeking emotional information from a trusted person in uncertain situations that the child's looking for. The nurture is more influential in that situation because research shows us that the caregiver's emotional expression, like whether they're happy or irritable or sad or fearful, affects whether a 1-year-old will be wary of strangers or play with an unfamiliar toy, things like that. So again, the child's experience affects how they develop there. And then also the development of their sociability. So even though we know that children do inherit traits from their parents, like whether they're shy or sociable and things like that, Kagan's research in 2014 showed that experience plays an even bigger role. And for example, Copeland and Arbo in 2008 found that warm supporting parenting reduces infants and preschoolers' shyness when dealing with new situations, while cold, intrusive parenting that would deny a child's feeling actually increases their anxiety. So again, their experiences heavily affect their overall temperament. When looking at physical or motor development, you can consider the milestones of crawling and walking. And the Kipsigis of Kenya and the West Indians of Jamaica, the parents there practice skills that keep the small babies in upright positions. And so they keep them on their feet through support. And as a result, those infants often just skip crawling altogether, and they go straight to walking. And North American infants are encouraged to crawl more, so they tend to walk later than those. So you can see that it differs from culture to culture how that infant progresses. Also, kind of similarly to that, the milestones of sitting or rolling can be delayed through certain practices. So, for example, practices here in the West encourage infants to be put down on their backs to avoid an issue with SIDS, but as a result, that tends to delay rolling and sitting, where we know that that can be prevented. The delay can be prevented if we put children on their stomachs for tummy time. So again, nurture is important there because based on the child's experience, how and when they develop and hit those milestones is impacted. So based on these examples of how the child's surrounding, including the different caregiver styles, impact how a human develops, I do think nurture plays the bigger role While many of these developments occur across cultures and different environments, the environment plays a really big role in how quickly types of development occur and certain milestones are hit, and even whether the milestones are hit at all, because as we've seen, sometimes certain milestones are skipped altogether based on a child's environment. Thank you.